From 5 to 13 years old, I felt like the knives were being stabbed into my muscles at all times.
I am going to name names at some point if my following up with these people amounts to nothing.
Your last cancellation did not work, Jake. Why would you engage in another cancellation? I couldn't read, comprehend, or genuinely think because the pain was so bad.
Helped this person through controversies and real life stuff.
It's always a sign of good character when after you help somebody through a controversy, you brag about it and you use it to try to shame them into giving you money. I was never able to feel like a normal kid because I never had a childhood. As others were outside making friends and running around, I stayed inside and writhed in pain.
Has us covered for about the next year.
Oh, then you're in a really good spot. You have enough money for a year and you're sitting here whinging about this. It brings your motivations into question. Of course, there were ups to counteract my downs, but it wasn't ideal at all. That's so sad. This guy is insane. He's sitting here telling us that he's getting a bunch of money from other people, but he's complaining that his YouTube friends won't give him money. What did I say? He flips on his friends on a dime. This person does not know how to make friends. And this is it. Like, this is going to destroy his ability to do anything. You ever think maybe God was telling you something? I'm just kidding. I'm sure all you guys are familiar with Mr. Jacob Doolittle here. Well, he's had a bit of a tough time since him and Ethan Klein had a little bit of a spat between each other. Basically, I mean, I got a video on it. I'm trying to remember to put it in the description. Long story short, Jake Doolittle went after Ethan because Ethan was having health anxiety and thought he had like something. I don't even remember what it was. Lupus, maybe. I don't even think it was. It was something. Turned out he didn't. Ethan was going through health anxiety. I think everybody understood that. Jake Doolittle used it as an opportunity to kind of virtue signal on Ethan. Ethan dunked on him. Jake pulled the video down. It was a whole spiral, kind of tossed out his credibility. He's been struggling ever since. We've all kind of been there. I've had multiple moments where I've destroyed myself. So you know what? I could be a little empathetic. Okay? I could be a little empathetic. But we're still here for the fun. This video, he actually removed. We got it, though. I got it from someone named Diesel IRL. And when I say I got it from him, I mean I watched through his VOD and I cut it down for over the past hour. Okay, I set it to 4x speed, and I just tried to find like every time he paused. And he pauses as much as I do, so it was crazy. We got most of the video here, though. We got like the first like 13 and a half minutes. Last minute or so is gone. It is what it is. It's in the oblivion. We don't have to worry about it. We don't have to worry about it. We don't care. We got the meat and the potatoes of it. We just don't have the vegetables, and who wants to eat those vegetables anyway? So let's get this going, man. Let's start it up. It says, I'm frustrated with the commentary YouTubers. I guess that's me.
Of a different video because I am frustrated with a lot of your favorite creators. I've been wanting to make this kind of video for quite a long time. I've been very nervous to do it because I didn't want to burn bridges, but at this point, who gives a fuck? So,
ooh, got him.
I guess just to get started, 2 to 3 years ago, I started a nonprofit, Never Stop.
That's cool. Basically a business. I don't know too much about nonprofits. You just started a business that he makes a profit as a person, but the business doesn't necessarily make a profit. Okay.
I have sunk thousands and years ago. I started a nonprofit, Never Stop. I have sunk thousands and thousands of dollars into Never Stop. At first, it was not successful at all, and I was paying money out of pocket to cover the donations that we were making.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's how kind of a business, unfortunately. I think that they say businesses aren't profitable for like 5 years, generally speaking. So that kind of makes sense. He was probably taking some of the money when he was doing better as a YouTube creator and putting it into the nonprofit. That's cool.
At the beginning, it was more of a grassroots operation where I was just sending people money through PayPal and I was trying to fundraise as much as possible. But now we are a nationally recognized nonprofit.
What does that mean, nationally recognized nonprofit? Is he on like a list or something? I mean, that's cool. Good for him. But what does that even mean?
And we just received our first grant. We have 7 volunteers. There's 1 part-time employee, a treasurer on board. Like, this is a...
Wow, you have like a whole business. All right, good for you, man. I mean, that's good considering you kind of burned through your YouTube credibility. It sounds like maybe you have something to back off onto, you know? Cool stuff, you know? Different, like a real life job. Nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful thing.
a fucking real operation here.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest problems that we have is
sorry all the random juts. I did my best to get it down. Okay, I'm sorry.
Fundraising, because a lot of nonprofits make money based on where they're located. So if I only gave out $500 a month to people in need in the state of Maine, then we wouldn't have a financial problem. But we have a problem because my audience is from everywhere across the United States.
Yeah, well, I mean, that doesn't sound like a problem. It sounds like a solution, no? It gives you more people to choose from.
I have 750 applications from different people across the U.S., and I can only give money to one person a month. The way that we choose our applicants...
You know what to say, like, what is it, for what? What is it? What is this thing? Never Stop fundraiser? Never Stop is a charity for diagnosed, misdiagnosed, and okay, everything in between. Okay. Is that what this reading thing is here? I got this screenshot here. I wonder if this is what it's all about. I've been sick for the last... Damn. Can't even speak. I've been sick for the last 15 years. When I was 3 years old, I was bitten in the head by a tick. Wow. When I was 3.5 years old, I was in my first wheelchair. I remember having kids make fun of me for showing up to preschool in a wheelchair. Around the time I was 5 years old, I had a full body bone scan to test for me for bone cancer. From 5 to 13 years old, I felt like the knives were being stabbed into my muscles at all times. I couldn't read, comprehend, or genuinely think because the pain was so bad. That's terrible. I was never able to feel like a normal kid because I never had a childhood. As others were outside making friends and running around, I stayed inside and writhed in pain. Of course, there were ups to counteract my downs, but it wasn't ideal at all. That's so sad. You ever think maybe God was telling you something? I'm just kidding. Okay. In middle school, I started to fully understand what discrimination is. Ah, yes, another one of my African brothers. One day I showed up to school in a wheelchair because I woke up and couldn't walk. I rolled up to the front door and the nurse greeted me by rolling her eyes. Sorry. Okay. She pulled my mom aside and told her that my wheelchair was too much of a hassle and a distraction. The entire school thought I was taking my pain or faking my pain for attention. They hastily brought the wheelchair lift down from the top of the staircase, brought me up into a meeting room, and put me there for 6 hours with some worksheets. They didn't allow me to be with friends. I don't even remember if I ate lunch that day because nobody checked on me during that time. That was the last day I went to middle school. There was no point. I was in pain. I would get put by myself all day, and my teachers were failing me because I had 4 doctor's appointments a week, and that was too difficult for them. I mean, that is sad if true. If true, that is sad. If true, that is sad. From there on out, I was just my mom and I. She homeschooled me, and I cheated my way through the remainder of middle school. Whoa, canceled! Okay. Because I wasn't able to read or write. All my friends stopped talking to me because they thought I was crazy. I'm just going to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to be rude. It's a little bit hard to believe because this guy, every joke aside, this guy's very well-spoken and very intelligent. So I have a hard time believing that everything that he's saying is exactly as it is. Because I would have imagined he would have been significantly stunted in his growth if in middle school he just didn't know how to read or write. Right? Aren't we talking about him in middle school? I'm not trying to dismiss his thing. I'm not saying all of this is fake. I'm saying it feels a little bit sensationalized. Yeah, in middle school you didn't know how to read or write, but you still got through the system and you happen to be a very intelligent person. It just... something is a little off to me, but... Then finally, after at least 100 doctor's appointments, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. Treatments took 4 to 5 years, and finally now I'm feeling better. At this point, I'm able to look back at my life and comprehend what had happened. I was being discriminated against because of my disabilities, my friends ditching me, my teachers failing me, and my school nurse putting a handicapped 12 or 13-year-old in a room for hours. You didn't know how to read or write at 13? I feel like you start... It just doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Okay. That's just the start. There have been many more times that I've been discriminated against. My childhood, death threats, punching, and tripping are to name a few. Damn, should have stayed in that wheelchair, huh? But I've always had a sense of reality during even my toughest times. Is Lyme disease awful? Yes. Are there people suffering more than you? Yes. Even when it seems like the world is against you, it's important to remember that this is a dream scenario compared to others. Though I had an awful time during my developing years, I fully understand that the discrimination directed towards me was nothing to compared to some of other people's discrimination. So that's a nice sentiment. It sounds like he has a nonprofit that's supposed to kind of support people that are going through a similar scenario, but it just definitely sensationalized to me. I don't know. I don't think he's lying, but it just sounds like he's sensationalizing it. I have a hard time believing he couldn't read or write when he was 13. He's a very well-spoken and intelligent individual. So, hey, Papa Gut, you inspired me to start a YouTube channel. I've gotten 10K subs within a month, so thanks for that. Hey, that's awesome, man. You're more successful than me. God bless you. But okay, let's continue.
This is based on need and urgency. So if somebody needs to cover travel for, say, a heart surgery within a week, then that person is going to be chosen.
That's from his stream. Diesel IRL.
I think over time we have almost 14 months of membership. 30 people that we've been able to give money to.
I have a question, and this might just be my ignorance. Why do you have so many employees if you're just giving people $500 a month? I don't. That's cool. That's awesome. Good for that. But like, why do you need so many employees?
Since the nonprofit has been an official IRS recognized nonprofit, we've given $500 a month. And then before then, it was just basically whatever I had to give. Now, over this time, as you may know, I have grown on YouTube. I'm almost at 300,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. And
that's awesome, brother.
I cannot thank you enough for that. But
I wonder what his actual thing is at. I wanted to check his, like, how he's doing. Because unfortunately, the number of subscribers doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to like different levels of engagement. So Hawk to a girl, I mean, he's still doing pretty well. His videos aren't terrible. I mean, he's posting once every 5 to 8, I don't know, man, 3-4 days. Maybe 3 or 4 days. Once every 3 or 4 days. Seems like he's got a decent content strategy. He's probably doing okay. I mean, he's getting decent views. This isn't terrible. You know, I don't know if he's really utilizing his shorts effectively. That's probably his biggest downfall. He looks very young here compared to like the way he looks here. You should probably be using, creating shorts, engaging in a shorts content strategy, which you don't even have a TikTok. So like you're just kind of failing there to push yourself outside of this. I mean, that's really, this is all like a personal thing. He's completely sheltered himself on YouTube. Like you're not going to really grow, especially since you took a pretty big hit from like the community. You're not really going to grow if you don't utilize shorts. And that's just like a little bit of advice. You know, your general decent content strategy is you have your long form content and then you use shorts to plug that content specifically. But you know what? Hawk to
there has been no YouTuber who has ever inquired or donated any money to Never Stop.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of shot your credibility. You just you destroyed your credibility when you went after Ethan Klein like a ridiculous, silly little goose. So why would anybody want to engage in that? If you as an individual don't have any credibility and the business you own, and you own a business, why would people go, oh, let me donate to the business? It sounds like a nice cause, but I don't trust you as a person, so I can't trust your organization. That's just, it's as simple as it is.
Actually even sent merchandise to creators to try to get them to talk about Never Stop, and it only worked with one, and that person,
well, that's nice that they did that. Okay,
person wasn't even a YouTuber. It was a singer. It was a songwriter. And throughout this video, I'm not going to name names, but I would like you to know that,
oh yeah, just so you know, I'll show you the thumbnail to the best of my ability, because again, he pulled the video down. But this is like the thumbnail that shows up on here. Like if I click it, it's gone. I don't know why he privated it, but I don't know. It's this guy. I think he did a thing with Tana. Yucky stuff, if true. And this guy is like an abusive, the I'm Alex guy. So comparatively, Jake's a great guy. You know, unfortunately though, I don't like to compare myself to poop and diarrhea. Probably not a great comparison. So
I am going to name names at some point, possibly next month or so, if my following up with these people amounts to nothing.
Damn, he's really trying to cancel. Your last cancellation did not work, Jake. Why would you engage in another cancellation? That doesn't sound like a smart idea.
And I keep getting ghosted. A lot of these YouTubers love talking about holding people accountable for their wrongdoings and all that kind of shit. But when I try to say, hey, if you have any extra money, we are giving $500 a month. I know that you just put on your close friend story that you're making 15 grand off this brand deal. Hey, I would
nice, dude. Good for you. 15 grand.
Love the help. My views are down, but you're getting, I don't know, 50,000 subs a month.
Yeah, your views are down because it's your fault. not only did you, well, now you're engaging in another cancellation attempt, but not only did you fail at a cancellation attempt against Ethan Klein with your like super big virtue signal, but you're not even trying to build your platform up in any meaningful way. You're staying too sheltered in the YouTube community. You need to put like a legitimate effort into pumping out stuff on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts to really generate an audience. Like, you know, the long gone are the days where you would make YouTube content and you would grow on YouTube. Really big content creators like your Moist Criticals, they don't necessarily need to put out clips because they are already so massive that they're getting favorability in the algorithm. And that's good for them. We're not them. We're smaller creators. You need to put like a ton of effort into getting your offline content, or excuse me, to getting your videos boosted. And the way you do that is through shorter form content. People are changing. The atmosphere is shifting. Short form content is how you get people to look at your long form content. And also short form content can be somewhat profitable if you do it decently enough. So we can kind of shore up some of the extra effort you put into your content. But you can't just sit here and just like beg for money and then allow your platform to fall off and not, you know, adjust with the times or put any effort into your content and then complain that other people aren't giving you money for your nonprofit that you decided to start. I mean, if you care about your nonprofit so much, you should have been more sensitive to it before you decided to go into some kind of like cancellation attempt on Ethan Klein for attention. You should have been like, I have a business to uphold. I need to hold myself to a particular standard. I need to act a little bit more professionally so that I'll be in a good spot. But instead you were like, I'm going to cancel this guy because I feel like I can really do it. And that's the energy that you were with that video. Very morally righteous. It was very meaningfully like Ethan's a bad person, et cetera, et cetera. And you destroyed your platform, or you hurt your platform, and you're crying like a baby now. That's where we're at. Crying.
What are we doing here? I don't think there has been a creator that
What program do we use to make shorts? I'll edit them down like an editing software like Filmora, and then I will use Streamladder, LADDER, I think it is, to get them down into and put like AI thumbnails onto, or AI captions.
I've worked with that I haven't told about Never Stop. The only person that has been willing to work with me is a beautiful soul who is
Oh, is it a woman singer?
A artist. I don't want to name names, but if you want to figure it out, you most likely can. As of today,
it's a girl he's simping for. Cringe, dude, cringe.
Today, we have given around $12,000 to people in need over the last 2 to 3 years.
Well, good for you, man. That's great.
And I know that that's not a lot, but
it's a good amount of money. It's great stuff.
It's what we've been able to give. Right now, we have, I think, $6,000 in the Never Stop account.
Well, isn't that great? Isn't that 12 months worth of stuff, or you have to pay people?
And that has us covered for about the next year. But I am 100.
Oh, then you're in a really good spot. So what is the problem? You're in a great spot. I mean, it's good to have a backlog of finances, but like you're in a good spot. You have enough money for a year, and you're sitting here whinging about this. It brings your motivations into question.
100% fully ready for this fundraising to slow down. Like over October and November, I raised like $2,500 on my YouTube videos, which is the best feeling in the world. Also, shout out to Google for withholding those funds. That's a whole other problem. Google isn't paying out to the people that I'm working with, so
it sounds like they are, but it's taking them some time.
There's no fucking money coming in, but that'll be...
You just said you had $6,000
paid out at some... Then there's another video complaining. I want someone to tell me why U.S. senators...
He's being weird.
...and representatives are more likely to work with me than other influencers in the commentary space who...
Probably because one, they don't know that you're kind of a shitty person. Two, they're not absorbed into the atmosphere, so they'd feel no fallback, or if people found out. Nobody, like in YouTube communities, people like associating with somebody like Jake Doolittle would make you look like kind of like a fucking moron. If you're a senator, you're not expected to understand the ridiculous brain rot lore of whatever's going on. So, of course, they're going to be more willing to engage with you. And that's a good thing. Look outside of YouTube. Also, they make more money than us. A U.S. senator, they're making... What is a U.S. senator's salary? Like, I don't understand. It's $174,000. Yeah, they're making more. They're making a good amount more. What are you talking about? What kind of a fucking question is that? That's silly. Thank you for the $5 from Barbecue Menchie. Here's a profit donation, for-profit donation that Mama and Papa got Disney Trip Foundation. True. You know, I'll be absolutely honest with you. With the amount of money that I've spent so far on this Disney trip for my wife's 30th birthday, we could have funded you for a couple of years, Jake. But I'm going to be real with you. I mean, listen, here's the way I look at it is like, if you can't walk around Disney, I don't want you to have my money. And since you guys are stuck in wheelchairs, I say, fuck you. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. If you were a nicer person, I might consider donating. But I just don't trust you, man. It's hard to trust you. You know? And like, Jake seems like a kind of nice guy, but I'm going to be real with you. Jake seems like the kind of guy that flips on a dime. He doesn't seem like a strong person that you could be friends with. He seems like somebody that will take this, what he will consider the safe bet every single time. And like, if something ever happened to you, he would be, his charitability for you would be gone. Like, I don't think that Jake knows how to be legitimate friends or understands what it means to like be friends with somebody in a more meaningful, loyal capacity. He just seems like somebody that's very antisocial, very alone, doesn't really have a lot of like social skills or friends. And the second that something happened and he feels like he capitalized on it, he will jump on it instead of engage in some kind of a critical thinking. That's what he seems like. He seems very content brain rotted, like content brained. I don't think that Jake has somebody in the real world to be able to ground him in reality. That's one of the biggest problems I think that he has in general. Okay. Like, when it comes down to it, I know I always talk about this with my wife. My wife grounds me in reality. And what grounding somebody in reality means is, one, that she has a real adult person's job. She's a social worker. She's a behavioral specialist for adults with intellectual developmental disabilities. She goes out in the world and she brings a different perspective to me, who's somebody that's a little bit more terminally online. And that's what keeps me less terminally online than I think a lot of other creators. But there's always times in a relationship, and this is why you need to find somebody that you love and trust. You need to trust yourself to find somebody that you can trust. There's going to be times where you're going to do something and you're going to have an interaction with the world, and your partner's going to say you're wrong, and you're not going to understand why. And it'll take you a long time to get there, but you have to be able to trust them that you're like, you know what, I'm going to take your word for it that I've done something wrong, or I'm interacting incorrectly in this moment. I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to move forward as if that is the case. And that's happened with me and my wife. And like, it's happened when I was in my lowest points as a content creator. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'll take your advice. I fucked up this. And I'm just going to move forward as if I did that. And I'm going to correct. And then you look back a year later, I'm like, holy fuck, she was right. Jake doesn't have that. He doesn't have a person. He doesn't have a partner, I don't think, at least not in a meaningful capacity that he probably respects as much as, you know, I suppose I respect mine. He doesn't have a friend or a family member, a friend or a family member or a partner or something that can help ground him and keep him a grasp of reality. He still thinks that he was in the right with Ethan. He just pulled his content down because he got a significant amount of backlash after going after Ethan Klein. I'm surprised he didn't take the route of just, you know, going after Ethan for the whole Israel-Palestine thing.
I have talked to within the last 6 months. How come other nonprofits that are doing between $10 and $30 million a year in donations are willing to talk to me, but the
Cool. Then you don't have to. Why the fuck do you need to worry about us then if these people are talking to you?
These fucking YouTubers cannot give $500 in a one-time payment out of their...
He's such a pussy.
I don't know, 50 grand that they're making a month. And by the way, all of this you can write off on your taxes. I don't know how many times I have to say this. These are people who are getting a shit ton of money and will not know what to do at tax time. And
this guy is insane. He's sitting here telling us that he's getting a bunch of money from other people, but he's complaining that his YouTube friends won't give him money. What did I say? He flips on his friends on a dime. This person does not know how to make friends. And this is it. Like, this is going to destroy his ability to do anything.
This is a way to offset that fucking tax bill, but I guess there's no knowledge there. So because I'm petty and because this isn't about supporting me, it's about supporting people who need the support.
No, it's not. This is him virtue signaling right now. It's not about helping the people in nonprofit. He has a year's worth of money inside of this nonprofit, and he's telling us that other organizations with millions of dollars are reaching out to him to help him out, as well as U.S. senators. This has absolutely nothing to do with the nonprofit. This is him taking his nonprofit and weaponizing it to try to shame people into doing what he wants. He's trying to bludgeon content creators over the head with his nonprofit. And that leads you to believe that he doesn't actually care about what he's plugging. And if he does, he's selling it because this comes off as he's using it to he's weaponizing his charity. He's weaponizing his moral goodness. That's not really the way that you want to operate here. You look absolutely ridiculous. Okay, this is a threat. This is a threat to his friends. The intention of this is to make this video, his friends to watch it that make a lot of money, And then to go, oh my God, Jake, I don't want you to cancel me. Here's $500. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And I think this is the second time he's tried to cancel somebody in a row that is absolutely destroying his career. This is destroying his career.
I'll give a bunch of examples about how YouTubers have ghosted me and not wanted to help with Never Stop.
I would too.
And I'm not doing this because I think that it's going to light a fire under influencers.
Yes, you are. There's no other reason you would do this.
To donate to Never Stop, because it's not going to happen. This video is not going to do anything, but
he wants it to.
I want there to be some kind of mutual understanding between you and I, the audience,
that these guys are bad and you shouldn't share an audience.
There's no support here. I have a bunch of people who follow me and have unfollowed me, who have had multiple opportunities to change the lives of people who, by the way, are also fans of them. Like, a lot of us have crossover in our audiences, and it's super frustrating because, you know, they have an opportunity to give back to the audience.
So then why are you destroying that opportunity? You're discouraging anybody from wanting to like work with you. You're being stupid. You're being optically very stupid.
Who has changed their lives, and there's no willingness to reciprocate it. So here's an example that happened literally last week, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. So this is somebody who I have spoken to. We have made content together, and we were following each other on social media.
Who has he made content with? That could possibly be the person. Oh, Colleen Ballinger. I'm going to scroll through here. What the hell is this? Okay. Let's see. I would imagine that if he had made content with somebody before, then it would be in here, right? It would probably be inside of like the thumbnail. It would be him, whoever else he's working with, possibly outlined the same way he outlines himself in front of stuff. I'm scrolling back and we're 8 months in and I don't see any collaborations. I don't see any collaborations on his account. Who the fuck is he referring to? Does anybody know who he's referring to? Is it this small child with their teeth missing? Is it Gabby Hanna? I'm not seeing... Wait, watching... Is it this girl?
Hi, sister.
From 10 months ago? Watching cursed TikToks? My girlfriend... Oh, this is his girlfriend's...
Hello.
What the fuck is this, dude? Do you even work with... I'm surprised he has a girlfriend. That's crazy. Are they still dating? Are they still together? It's been a while. I guess they are. Okay, cool. Good for you and your girlfriend. Who the fuck is he talking about? He's talking about Nick is not green? Dude, Nick is not green. He needs to keep his shit together and fucking just stay away from Jake Doolittle. He looks like a dumb asshole. I'm not seeing any... anything here. It must have been a long time since he's worked with this guy. A long ass time. Because that's fucking wild to me. There's just no way. He collaborated with AB from H3. Only shit on him? Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay.
This person would comment on my stuff all of the time and would send me DMs about some of the stuff that I posted. Is very congratulatory, is very like, woohoo, love you so much. And then I noticed after having a DM exchange with this person that they had unfollowed me, which I thought was interesting because under my posts, they were always commenting and like rooting for me. So this person, and this one was a public story, but a lot of these people post on their close friends and I'll swipe up because this is a close friend story. Like none of it makes any sense to me. So this person posts. There's
one with Drew Gooden. Who the fuck is Drew Gooden? Do we think that's who it is? I mean, if they've unfollowed him, if he has a legitimate friend, and they unfollowed him over, I mean, it could be this guy. He's a pretty big content creator. This would make sense to be the guy that's like, I got $15,000 or $30,000 on a brand deal. If he had a friend and they unfollowed him over like the Ethan thing, that would be a shitty friend because you should be a little more charitable to your friends. I just have a hard time believing that it was that simple because of the way that he's been acting. He's been doing a podcast with Obese to Beast. Oh, damn, what's that podcast called?
How much money they're making on their public story. Okay. And so I swiped up and was like, hey, that's a lot of money. Or like, that's a lot of people supporting you. That's insane. Congratulations. Then the person responded to me and was like, thanks, you know, it's crazy. I'm trying to do good with my money. And this was just supposed to be an exchange of me saying, hey, congratulations. That's insane. And this person said, hey, hey, I've been trying to do good with my money. So if behind closed doors, you're going to flex to me and say that you're doing good with your money, fucking show up. So I said, hey, if you want to do good with your money, I would love to get on a call and talk with you about Never Stop. And this person,
I have a hard time believing that this is real. So I don't doubt some of the details of this situation based on just the way he's acting. I just don't think it played out like this. This other person put up a story about how they're doing really well. You probably shouldn't flex about the amount of money you make. I've done that before. It doesn't end well karmatically. It is what it is. Anyway, you flex how much money that you're making, or they flex how much money they're making, and then you reach out to them, and then they're like, yeah, I want to do really good with my money. You're like, well, if you want to do really good, like you could always donate to my nonprofit. Fuck you, Jake. I almost guarantee you, I would be willing to bet that he reached out to the guy and was like, oh, if you're doing so well, why don't you donate to my nonprofit? And he just acted like a fucking a prick about it. You know?
Unfollowed me and left me on red, which I think is hilarious.
I doubt. Show me the DMs. I want to see the exact DMs. Because I just don't think it happened like this. I don't think it happened like this. I think that he's lying about the details of the situation. That's ridiculous.
You can't post how much you're making. You can't say, hey, I'm trying to do good with my money. And then when I say, hey, if you want to do good with your money, let me know. I would love to talk to you.
It's not that simple. I guarantee you that it's not that simple.
And then you just fucking leave me.
This just did not happen. He's lying about the details. This guy totally was a dickhead to this guy.
Me on red? That's insane. Not even a response. Any kind of a response that would be like, hey, you know, I appreciate what you're doing, but I've been giving to different charities that support something that I'm closer to.
Show me the DMs.
I'm okay with that, but you can't say that you've been doing good with your money and flexing all this kind of shit and then not give any proof or show any kind.
Do you like that? So we in the last 30 seconds of his video, we found out a lie. So the word good is very important. Originally, Jake Doolittle said that this guy said that he wanted to do good with his money. Now Jake's like, yeah, you're saying that you're doing good with money. These are two different things. In the first instance, Jake's trying to make us think that this guy is saying he wants to do good things with his money, and now the framing is that this guy is just doing good money-wise, right? So these are two different things. It's a small detail, but very clearly to me that this motherfucker is lying about the parameters around the situation to try to virtue signal and indirectly cancel this person. This is a threat. This is a cancellation threat onto this other person. He's hoping that they'll take the bait and start donating money to him. So I don't know, he can embezzle it or something. I don't even know what that word means.
Of anything. This next one is somebody who I think is a friend. I do like this person, and this person has been around for a long time.
So why are you going to try to cancel them if you think they're a friend?
We've made content together. We've had really good times together. I've seen this person in person. And so because I was frustrated, I asked this person if we could just talk on the phone about how I could get influencers to work with me on my nonprofit. I see all of these people doing charity streams, doing charity shows. They're raising $4 million. I don't know how to...
So then do a charity stream.
Word this, but I would do so much with 1/100th of that money. If we're
Hey, you'd give it to people. Like, cool.
We're giving money directly to people through PayPal. It is changing the days, the weeks, the months, possibly the years of these people. And I understand that it's not a lot of money, but $500 to help pay off the principal of a medical bill that you have can reduce so much stress and make you feel so much.
True. I don't even know how much I trust this guy anymore with even like what nonprofit he claims to have. I don't know. It's just like there's something. He's just a shady person. I would never donate money to him. I'd rather donate my money to somebody else that I could trust to actually get their shit together.
Better. Whether that's covering groceries or whether that's covering fucking wheelchairs, I don't care. But we have the ability to give directly to people. There is no nonprofit that is doing that because they're so big. We are so small scale that we're able to influence people in a way that no other nonprofit can. So I got on the phone with this person and I'm like, hey, I've had no support from other influencers, and that's really bothered me, and I don't quite know how to go about it.
You heard that?
And they were very honest, and I call them because they're very honest. And because I made a video that wasn't received well a year ago, people don't want to work with me. But the problem is when you're putting...
Yeah, because a year ago you tried to cancel Ethan Klein because he was having health anxiety, and then you virtue signaled over that. You destroyed your credibility. Why would anybody trust this nonprofit? And now you're sitting here making a video that's intended to put pressure on the people you claim are your friends into donating to your nonprofit organization. That's what you're doing. you can't be trusted. You're just being shifty. It's just like gross behavior. Why would anybody trust you? I mean, with the amount of times this guy's tried to publicly pressure and shame people is insane. Like, he did free work, which was agreed upon by him and like Charlie D'Amelio years ago, like 5 years ago, and then he tried to cancel them because they didn't credit him correctly when they did. He's always trying to go after somebody. Charlie D'Amelio, Ethan Klein, whatever other friends, Drew Gooden, I think, is one of his friends. He's just trying to go after his friends. He cannot be friends with people. This is the type of person who doesn't know how to have legitimate friendships. He's very antisocial. He's very into himself. He doesn't understand how to be like genuinely empathetic to other people. He uses his nonprofit as a bludgeon to attack his friends and make him look like a good guy. But the reality is he's just kind of an asshole, and you should stay away from him. And you really shouldn't trust that he knows what the right thing to do is with his nonprofit organization. That's the way that I feel about this. That's what it comes down to. And if we want to be really introspective, or not introspective, we want to be like really charitable and understanding, this guy struggled when he was growing up and probably didn't really have a very good school experience and was probably homeschooled to some extent. That's where all the antisocial behaviors come from, and we could appreciate that from a human perspective. But at the end of the day, your one-on-one interactions just fundamentally show you do not know how to be truly and meaningfully empathetic towards people. You don't know how to be a good friend. You're probably not going to be a great partner. I'm not trying to be an asshole. You seem like a very selfish person who's about himself, and you can't be someone's friend. You will flip on somebody on a dime, and that's what we're seeing here. You're not a genuine good person. You're somebody that wants people to be to perceive you as a good person, and that's why you struggle with actual empathy. That's why you canceled Ethan Klein when he was going through like insane health anxieties a year ago and thought that he had like, you know, whatever, like 8 different types of autoimmune diseases, because he's having health anxiety, which I totally get as a 30-year-old with a bunch of different health problems. Ethan and I are probably in the same boat. We used to be. He lost a lot of weight. I'm getting there. So that's your issue, buddy buckaroo. That's your problem. You need to sit back and truly learn like legitimate empathy, not just empathy when it suits you. It's easy to be empathetic when you have an easy time being empathetic. It's hard to be empathetic when when you don't understand what somebody's going through, and that's true empathy, and that's something that you need to really understand and learn.
Out as much fucking content as I am, there's going to be videos that aren't received well. I feel like that's simple math. Just in the last 6 months, I've posted 73 videos. Who else is doing that?
Like everybody. A lot of content creators are pumping out a bunch of videos. I mean, I pump out a video a day. Now, granted, I'm doing React content, so the editing is less. Although you could argue that it's similar editing because I'm doing a ton of clip work. So, but either way, you know, I do like intros to my videos, and then I do like clip editing. Like yesterday, I did a 2-hour video about like a Trump interview reaction, and it took me like 3 hours to edit. So, you know, between the intro and the other stuff, but like it's not uncommon for people to pump out a lot of content. You're not a unique content creator. Neither am I. But you're not a particularly unique content creator. You know, this is an online space. I mean, I could look at your videos. It seems like, you know, you're doing like a talk about a topic.
Hello, everyone. Like, today I'm going to be...
And frankly, this is just like a reaction to another video. It kind of looks like he's just doing a highly edited reaction. He's kind of doing commentary. He's reacting. Blah, 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 blah. You could see he's watching someone else's content. He's just doing a much more reaction. The hawk to a girl is not a good person. So just kind of like running down that she's a beanie head, running off a cliff. He probably found on Twitter, reading through some DMs. People do this all the time, and this is not something that people necessarily going to super gravitate towards. I mean, it's just very like short form, like, hey guys, here's another bad person. Nope, Fousey to a bad person, Hawk to a girl, bad person, more James Charles. I don't even know what the fuck's relevant about James Charles still. Some gay guys kissing on the lips, whatever. Colleen Ballinger again, I don't even, you know. You know, everybody's doing this. Everybody's is pumping out content as much as they can to get as much, you know, attention as they can. It just sounds like you have a very performative content pump. You have a very performative content pump. So I don't know what to tell you. And people are getting away from that. People don't really want virtue signaling dog shit diarrhea. People want to be able to go to work and they want to throw on like their favorite YouTuber and listen to them talk from a very human perspective and like understanding. They're not looking for this like performative dog shit. People are shifting in what they desire nowadays.
This is not to flex. This is not to be like a fucking show off.
A show off. Show off your balls.
But I am working my ass off. And at some point, there are going to be videos that aren't perceived as well as I'd like them to be. Or there's going to be times where
yeah, but this is the problem, is I've had videos that aren't perceived as well as I'd like them to be either. That does happen. It is what it is. That's just part of the game. There's a difference between having a video that's not received well versus you having some dog shit virtue signal cancellation attempt against somebody for completely unjustifiable reasons. Like, you didn't just have a bad take on a topic. You made a meaningful video where you sat here and virtue signal about how Ethan Klein is a horrible person because he has health anxiety. It's not the same thing. Like, that's a catastrophic failure.
Allegations turn out to be false.
Does he have an editor? Wait, does he have an editor? Wait, how is he working his ass off? Because I don't work hard. I'm working longer now because I'm trying to put more effort into my content. But does he have an editor?
That's part of the course.
But I do my own editing. So who is this? Does he have his own editor? I'm wondering if he does. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. Does he have his own editor? Did he say that?
False, and then we have to backtrack. That is the job that we are in. So I say to this person, I'm like, hey, why?
No, sorry, I missed something I wanted to say.
We have to like them to be. Or there's going to be times where allegations turn out to be false, and then we have to backtrack. That is the job that we are in. So,
no, not really. That's only if you do some kind of breaking news. He's being very indirect. He's talking about how he tried to cancel Ethan. There was no allegation there. He leveraged an allegation that Ethan's a bad guy. That's not an allegation. Like, he decided to cancel somebody. There's moments where people get things wrong, but like, only if you do breaking news, you're gonna have to backtrack allegations. Or if you push an allegation as more than an allegation, you'll have to backtrack it. But if you take information as it is and you don't sensationalize it, you're not going to have this problem.
So I say to this person, I'm like, hey, why won't anybody in
Oh, maybe you're thinking of Xanderhall? Okay.
commentary work with me? They give a reason, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to put our bank statements online? Do I need to...
What? Put your banks? Why would you put everybody's bank statements online?
have a running tally of how much money we have in our bank account?
Who's we? Are you talking about your fundraiser?
Because it's not that much. A lot of people...
You just said you had a year's worth of money left. What are you talking about?
People look at nonprofits as like a way for people to get decent money or a second fucking salary. I've made no money. I have lost so much money. I have only put money into this project. Up until 2 months ago, there was an event that I didn't talk about at all that Never Stop did. We raised...
Why wouldn't you talk about the event?
Some money, and I got a Square card reader for like $30 or something.
Why wouldn't you talk about the event to your audience? What are you talking? I'm sorry. You had an event and you just didn't plug your event to raise money for your nonprofit. How much do you care about this nonprofit? I don't understand. It makes no fucking sense to me.
And that was the first time that I had bought something from Never Stop's money rather than my own. And to me, that's a big deal. That $30 or $40 or $50, I don't remember. I can show you the statements if you'd like. Means that we're close to being self-sustained. And I'm making this video because Giving Tuesday just happened. We got $20 or something. And as of recording, if you're self-employed, you've got a few more days to offset your tax bill. And so I'd like to fucking call on you to do that.
What do you mean a few days to offset your tax bill? You realize Q4 is due January 16th, right? I'm pretty sure. Hold on a second. I'm excited. He just doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh yeah. Q4 2025 tax. 2024 tax year. I think it's January 15th, 2025 is the end of Q4 of 2024. We're in December 10th. You have a month and you have like fucking 35 days to do this. What are you talking about? You're just not even right. I don't even understand.
I guess, sorry. And to go back to that call that I had with that person who I...
Because if you do this as your job, you have to pay your taxes quarterly, both federally and locally, state and federal. And so you have, I forget the 4 cutoffs, but it's basically like every 4 months. It's January 15th, I think. I think the next one's April 15th. It's I don't know, September 15th is one of them. I fucking don't even care. I just do it every 4 months. So usually I'll just do December 15th, which means I have to pay my taxes in a couple days. But I'll just usually do that December 15th, March 15th, blah, blah, blah. But you have every 4 months. I don't even know what he's talking about. I mean, maybe he thinks it's supposed to be December 15th. It's not. I don't know.
Respect a lot. This person said that they were hesitant to work with me again because they were nervous about how it would be perceived over one video that I made 1 year ago that people didn't like.
Yeah, but you still haven't built yourself out of that video. You made that video and you've done nothing of like particular note. There's nothing to really respect. I don't look at your platform and go like, oh, this guy's respectable. You're a slop factory. And I'm not saying that I don't produce slop. You know, you want to say the same thing about me, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to take it personally. But it's not like you're a content creator that's had some problems before, but then you have like, you're really like, when it comes to a particular topic, you're like really intelligent. Like, oh, it's hard to shit on this guy. Like, he's having a really positive, profound effect on X, Y, or Z. You're a slop factory, again, as am I. And you're sitting here and you're like, I had this bad video like over a year ago. What the fuck? It's a little bit more than that. And now you're attacking your friends here. So it's not just one video. It's just the person that you are.
That I apologized for. I have released over 100 videos since then. I have realized the mistake I made in that video.
Yeah, he can't even say the video. He doesn't know the mistake he made. He's just saying that he realized it.
Whatever the fuck. But it's fine because growth isn't a thing.
But you didn't grow. You didn't make a change. You're acting the same way now by trying to cancel your friends and threatening to. He's like, I might make a follow-up video with all their names in it, but I'm not going to do that here. You're trying to threaten your friends, your supposed friends, into donating to your charity. And you're like, but I grew from the Ethan thing. The energy is the exact same. You're doing the exact same thing. You're doing the exact same thing that you did to Ethan Klein, to all your other friends. You haven't learned a goddamn thing. You don't know why you're wrong. People just bullied you into thinking that you were wrong. Okay? So that's how we know bullying does not work. It doesn't get people to truly understand what problems they have, because this guy's no fucking idea what his issue is. And I don't know why nobody in your real life is like, hey, dude, you're an idiot moron. If they agree with your bad behavior, then you guys, I guess, are meant for each other. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just like, what if I ever did something to like this guy did to somebody on the internet? My wife would be like, you're in the wrong and you're a fucking moron. That's it. That's the end of story. That's how it operates. There's no fluffy bullshit language. You know, we speak very clearly. And she said that before. And that's why I'm here. And I'm doing, I think, decently. Okay? I'm doing pretty well. I'd say. I'd like to think. So.
I've got a few more stories because I'm frustrated. And this most recent one, I will make another video on at some point. This was one of the most strange situations I've ever experienced in my time of being a creator. And I have to talk about it. I won't say names right now, but I probably will later on. Somebody reached out to me on Instagram. Somebody who could change my life, could change hundreds, possibly thousands of people's lives, asking for advice. I got on a phone call with this person.
So why would they ask you for advice? Somebody that's really popular is asking you for advice. What advice could you possibly have to offer?
I give this person advice, and because they asked for it, right? And
what advice do you possibly have to offer? I'm not trying to be an asshole. What the fuck?
And then after this call, I say, hey, I really appreciate that I was able to give you advice, but I would love some advice on how to grow my nonprofit, because I feel like you know a lot about this kind of stuff. I would love to talk. And I'm going to send a follow-up this week, but if there's no response, I don't know what to do. I gave this person content strategy advice, and then
I don't even believe this. I just don't even believe this. You're talking a huge content creator that you want to ask about nonprofit advice because they have that kind of knowledge. Asked you about content creation advice? No, it just didn't happen. I just don't believe that. I'm sorry.
Asked for advice in return, and now I'm left on red. I've been completely fucking used by this person, and I don't know why they reached out to me in the first place. That one I'm gonna keep a little bit more vague because I still have my hopes up, I guess. But I mean, there are a lot of people who I've made videos with in the past who have just stopped talking to me.
I would too, man. I would too.
Unfollowed me. I was in the middle of scheduling a video with another commentary creator who I respected a lot. And then this person unfollowed me, stopped responding to my messages, and didn't have the fucking balls to tell me why.
You ever think that maybe if like every single person around you is running from you, maybe it's your fault? Like, do you ever think about like maybe it's on me? It's one thing to be one person, but if you have like, if this is like the fifth or sixth person that you're like, yeah, they just stopped talking to me, I wonder why. There's something else going on that we don't know. There's something else going on that we don't know. If they schedule the video with you now and now they're running away, something's happening. And what I would be willing to believe, I think I have a reasonable thought that what's potentially happening is that behind the scenes, Jake is extraordinarily toxic and other creators are warning each other about how toxic he is and to stay away from him. And that's what's going on here. Jake has a problem. Jake has a legitimate like smugness problem that's going on, and creators are staying away from him. That I genuinely think that's what it is. I have no other explanation. It's got to be more than just a video from over a year ago.
I have so much respect for the person who said, hey, I'm hesitant to work with you right now because I don't know how people are going to perceive it. I'm okay with
Ellington Moose. I'm pretty sure there's an Ellington Moose who stops by this channel too sometimes. So I guess we have some fan crossover.
that. I mean, I don't understand it, but at least there's a reason. The people who hide behind closed doors and unfollow me, and you know, we have conversations and I give advice and they give advice.
You ever think that maybe his advice just fucking sucks balls? Also, ever think that maybe some of these creators just don't want to respond because they're doing other shit? Like, I take a long time to respond sometimes. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, me and Caleb Hammer chat a little bit here and there. I like the guy. He's a cool guy. We're both gooners. He's a cool guy. My wife likes him. That's usually enough for me to like somebody. We'll message each other and then like 4 days later the other one will respond. That's just normal. there's no like, oh, it's just how it is. He's busy. I'm busy. I got other things I want to do. I don't really want to respond. He doesn't really want to respond. He's got shit going on. Nothing personal. We just have some things going on in our lives. You know, it is what it is. We're both working. We're both doing our things. We're both spending time in whatever ways we spend time. That's just how life works. I messaged this guy like 2 days ago and he didn't respond to me yet. Okay, that's sometimes just how it works. Sometimes people just don't instantly respond to you because they just have sometimes they don't want to put the emotional energy into responding, even if it's not a whole lot of energy. Sometimes they're just like, yeah, I feel like doing something else right now. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like socially interacting. It's like totally fine. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's life. I don't know. It's just part of life. Who gives a shit?
And then it just stops. That's fucking crazy. And that is so lame. Somebody who I made a video with in the past, multiple videos, actually took down every single video that I've made with them. And that was tough. That is somebody.
That's funny. That's probably Nick is not green.
Who I knew since day one, who I thought was like a really, really good friend.
Yeah, it would be really funny if the other person is just like a little awkward and hasn't replied yet. You know?
And you know,
you don't have good friends, dude. This is the way that you treat your friends. You have no good friends.
Helped this person through controversies and real life stuff. And
it's always a sign of good character when after you help somebody through a controversy, you brag about it and you use it to try to shame them into giving you money. That's what's happening here. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to shame them into giving you money. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's for your nonprofit organization. You're going on and on and on about how the nonprofit isn't financially, sound enough for you to make a profit for yourself, for you to make an income. You talked about how you have 12 months worth of donations lined up. You're good for the next year. You're trying to bully your friends into donating to give you money. That's really what it boils down to. It's incredible stuff.
And I assume they said that they thought I was using them for clout, I guess, when in reality, we both started at the same time. I knew this person when they had 6,000 subscribers, but of course, I'm using them. And if you look around.
Yeah, so that's it for what I have. That is the majority of the video. We're missing about a couple of minutes, unfortunately. No, I have no access to the last 2 minutes. If I'm able to find the last 2 minutes offline or something, I'll react to it and I'll throw it into this as a live video, but it is what it is. I think we have everything we need to know. The bottom line is that Jake Doolittle is trying to bully people that he calls friends, even though he seems to not be able to make friends, bullying them into giving him money. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Because I said so. All right, let's finish this out. Turkey Thomas. He had made a video. And he's got with the full video. Let's just get the last 2 minutes through here. Huh? No big deal. Let's just do it like this. I'm tired. It's nighttime. I'm irritated. All right, let's go.
Thing is, like, I have empathy. Like, there are a lot of fake YouTubers out there, but like, I don't know. Like, you're just gonna just move on. Like, it doesn't matter.
Well, this guy is the fakest YouTuber, so it's like the embodiment of fake YouTubers. Doolittle over here.
Do you have friends in real life? Do you have like buddies in real life you can turn to like ask if this is a good idea to make? What? Don't you have like a girlfriend to ask if this is a good idea? If she approved this video, that's nuts. If you have a girlfriend, she approved this video, this is like a disaster.
Yes. When in reality, we both started at the same time. I knew this person when they had 6,000 subscribers, but of course, I'm using them. And if you look around this person, all of their friends have stopped being friends with them because this person has cut all of them off. And
well, that sounds like Nick is not green. Okay, yeah. I mean, he might have cut them off. Those. Well, I don't know. Nick is not green. But who do you get? I'm almost guaranteeing you it's him. Who do you get cut off by? I can't even remember those scumbags named Ethan online. The Ethan is online. Those pieces of shit. Who cares?
Well, everybody's gonna stop being friends with you now if you have any.
I don't really know
all of his friends are performative.
What's going on with them. I still have like a special place in my heart for this person because we started out day one 3 years ago together. We were, I don't know, we helped each other out a lot. And then
I really wish this person would use his platform to share with me.
And, you know, at some point, like a year or a year and a half ago, this person decided to stop talking to me. And then new friends would come in and want to be friends with this person. And then they would tell them about how I tried to use them. And here's the thing. I've always said that if this person ends up talking about me online, I have a million receipts and I have a million different things.
They've never done that.
I don't think anybody wants to. I think he's fantasizing that this is something that's going to happen. He's like, I got something in case you want to come in after me. I got that. It's like he's cosplaying. He's just like cosplaying as some guy that's going to do something.
I mean, it's
just shut up. I think it's not Green. It's not even make content so long.
He's like paranoid this person's going to expose him, so he's preemptively shit talking them in a YouTube video.
I don't think that's it at all. I think that this guy wants people to expose him so he can engage in controversy because he's not interesting outside of that.
What?
Things that I want to say, but you know, I don't want to start something unless
you're doing it now.
Yes, he does. This is him trying to start something and hoping that the other person will start it, you know?
Doing it. Thank you, Lakar, for becoming a member. This is schizo. This is actually, he's like, I have a million receipts about them that I'd like to talk about. I won't bring it out unless I have to. It's like, what did that guy do?
Nothing.
Were you friends with what could you possibly expose? It's like this kid.
It's funny because like the expose isn't even gonna make the guy look bad. It's just gonna make Jake look bad. But Jake is incapable of understanding when he's in the wrong. So that's it. He thinks that he's got it. So if the other person wanted to bother starting controversy with this guy, which they're not going to, because who wants to be involved in that? He would come out the other side looking like an asshole.
It just needs to kiss him. Yeah, something like that. If you don't get down on your knees and suck this guy's dick, he has like a mental breakdown about it.
They feel the need to. And there were also people who I was ready to invite to my wedding who I would talk about like once I proposed.
Thanks for that burden.
I can't wait to
I was going to invite you to my wedding, but since you didn't give me money, I'm uninviting you.
Have this wedding and have a bunch of people there who I love. They're all people who I've reached out to, like, hey, how's it going? Asking about
this guy's fucking smile creeping me out.
Things that only I know about. Like, hey, how's this going? I know this was stressing you out. Nothing. And that really sucks.
That's called a friendship. Like, you're just weaponizing your friendships.
And I think honestly, that's just how the influencer world works. The people who mean them
sometimes, but I don't have any empathy for you because you are like the embodiment of the problem.
Most to me are not in commentary. And
the people who mean the most to you should not be like necessarily YouTube friends. Like,
yeah, kind of. I don't really have commentary friends either. Commentary friends are like, I don't know. I've noticed it's like difficult to have commentary relationships. You know, maybe I'm part of the problem. I don't really know or care. But yeah, that's how it is, man. Like, you know, in general, just fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Learn a lesson and shut the fuck up. Like, enough of this fucking bullshit. This guy's a victim.
I have a lot of good YouTube buddies that I really hold near and dear to my heart. All right, they know who they are. All right, they know who they are. Brandon Buckingham. All right, that's definitely one of them. Wendigoon is definitely one of them.
Beautiful.
There's some others who
very beautiful.
Are my good buddies that I would cherish and hold and kiss.
That's incredible.
Saying. But you know, if you go your separate ways, you go your separate ways. Like, this doesn't have to be a public thing. That's life. Give me your money or I'll go online and cry about it. That is literally what he's doing. He's pressuring them. He's like, don't.
Well, yeah, but he wants to go public with it because that's part of it. That's part of the thing. It's content brand. That's what it is.
It's my nonprofit. Destiny, exactly, dude. Brody's definitely up there, dude. Shut up, Brody. Yeah, Jake Weddle. He's one of them for sure. BBL Drizzy.
And it is like a weird, people always say that commentary is very clicky, and it is. Like, much bigger commentary creators have reached out to me and been like, hey, I don't really like that you said that, so, you know, can you take that down? And because they know that I'm fucking so sensitive and such a little bitch, I will take it down.
Well, then you're a pussy, and I just feel like this isn't true. I just feel like he's saying things to make himself look cool. Yeah, some big guys reached out to me. Yeah, dude. Because I'm so important. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know. I'm starting to get really peeved off, and so I just thought that I could rant for a little bit. I don't think this video will do anything, but you know, check.
This is like an insane video. This is actual insanity. I feel like this guy is mentally ill. Like, I feel like there's something wrong with him. I don't know what kind of help he needs or.
Damn, Tom must have gotten it before. Oh, he changed the thumbnail at this point. In this video,
we're supposed to save him, but he might be unsavable. I can't believe the video I just watched. I cannot fucking believe that. Like, that's someone crazy. Ghosted him, so now he's planning to expose them because they didn't donate to his charity. This is like school shooter manifesto territory. Whoa. I mean, not literally, but you know, it is like.
Yeah, he's gonna roll in there in his wheelchair, pop him off.
Such sour grapes. Yeah, I mean, I would recommend, you know, if you need a better example of why not to be friends with this guy, I can't think of a better one, frankly. I think this is literally all the proof you need.
Plus, he's white. Am I right, guys?
Do not hang out with this fucking guy. He will try to ruin your life. He will try to actually ruin your life.
True stuff, guys. Incredible.